did my final presentation on David Hilbert, and that's just like a quote that he's known for. He said it when he was getting an award at Connensburg. So it's just an overview. We'll go through like his early life and where he got his education, where he traveled a little bit, and I'm going to say why. His years at University of Göttingen, some contributions to the math, then the Hilbert Hotel, which we already went over, and like his famous 23 problems. So he was born January 23rd in 1862 in Königsberg, Prussia. Prussia's not even around anymore, but it's where he's born. It would have been a part of Russia. It's right there, right off the sea, or whatever that is. He was born to Otto and Maria Hilbert. He had a pretty normal childhood. His dad was a judge, and his mom was a astronomy and a philosophy enthusiast. As a child, he wasn't really even interested in math. He was more in like Latin and Greek. But because his mom was she was really interested in prime numbers and geometry, and he actually started school like 2 years later, and he was, I guess he was supposedly being taught homeschooled by his mom, and that's why like his interest in math came around. Like I said, he started school at 8 at Collegium Friedrich. I can't really say it, but that's 2 years later than like the normal starting age for school. A lot of the people, like kids, started at 6 around his area. So at school, they're focused on Latin and Greek, and not on his passion was math. So he didn't even really excel at all. He transferred to Friedrichskolleg at 15, and this is where he finished his schooling. At there, they wrote, or I found like a quote right off of his report card that said that he showed a deep interest in math and he understood all of it. In 1880, he enrolled in the University of Königsberg, and he right away jumped into theory of indeterminates, integral calculus, theory of numbers. And in 1884, he started his thesis, and it had some crazy German name, but this is what it translated out to, about invariant properties, more especially binary forms, especially the spherical harmonics. Then in 1885, he received his doctorate from the University of Königsberg. He then studied to pass his Staatsexamen. It's the equivalent of a master's degree, and it's needed in certain countries in Europe to just teach high school. That's more of his traveling period. After he passed his Staatsexamen, he traveled to different lectures on geometry, modular functions, and invariant theory. And he was just about to go to Paris, France, and he was traveling with Edward Study. And they were going to meet with different mathematicians, Poincaré, Jordan, Garbeau, and a couple others to talk about invariant theory. They didn't really agree with the way that these different mathematicians viewed invariant theory, so they wanted to nitpick their brain kind of. The way all the mathematicians they're going to meet with, they were all really superficial. They all had older views. They didn't see more abstract like Hilbert and Study did. Charles Hermite, he was the only person that they both actually agreed with, but he, just like the rest of them, he was too old. He had a good views that they both liked about invariant theory. So after they had their talk with all the mathematicians, because that was the biggest traveling that he did, that was the biggest lecture, and he went now back to Königsberg where he wanted to complete his habilitation. And the habilitation is kind of like the equivalent of a master's degree, of a master's degree.